gosh, how would I explain Yossi?
1, 2, 3, pluck.
Clearly there's an intellect there, but that intellect is never flexed or shown off when you're chatting with him. I'm a huge Yossi Gross fan. You started in the aerospace world, right? You went to Technion?
Yeah. Actually, I started as electrical engineering, and I was in the Air Force. And then I went to the medical device industry, actually by chance. I developed the technology, and I became one of the experts in the world in a drug delivery system in electrophoresis technology. And
Self-taught?
Yeah.
And you've been a prolific inventor though too, haven't you?
Yeah.
Did I read 500 patents or
No,
something?
I have by now 860.
860?
Yeah.
Patents?
Patents, yeah.
And a majority of those in medical device?
All of them,
All
90%, yeah.
You don't have 800 plus patents and start 36 companies and transact them for billions of dollars by luck. And the humility that comes out is very, very much demonstrated with my conversation with Yossi. You have started more than 50 companies?
Not 50, 36.
36. And so how many of those have been successful?
10%.
10%. So almost 4. But they've been
No,
wildly successful.
more than
right?
that was successful, but really big success.
Yeah.
Everybody knows in the statistic that in medical devices you have 5% success.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared, 95% that it will be a failure, okay? So when you start, you know the risk from day one, okay?
How does a country of 8 million people impact such a large industry? I mean, there's 8 million people in New York City. There's 8 million people in this country.
Yeah.
How does it impact that?
I believe that this is something more deep here, is that the Jewish nation come back here after 2,000 years, okay, in the diaspora. And the feeling of uncertainty still now, okay? Even my father every week told me, Yossi, I ask you one favor, don't lose the country. Don't lose the country, okay? So this deep feeling that we have to succeed, okay? After so many years that there was no Israel, this is one of the deepest motivation that I believe in, okay? It's here in the back somewhere, everybody. And nobody talk about it, but this is if you ask me, this is one of the deepest motivation here.
What would you forecast Israel's role in med device moving forward over the next decade?
I believe that Israel will become and stay as one of the centers for medical devices. I tell you a story, because here everybody wants to follow others, In Beersheba, we never had snow in Beersheba, okay? And somebody opened a shop for ski devices, for clothes and all that. Next day, another 3 shops opened in Beersheba, There is no snow there. So here, also the same story. Somebody successful in medical device, immediately everybody join the club,
That's the reason. All right, I'll take that.
That's a simple story.
When you pursue a technology, it's critically important that you are obsessed with it, because it's going to get so hard that you're going to want to quit. And unless you're obsessed with it, become Van Goghish and hack off an ear, you're likely not going to be successful, because there are going to be so many more things that are going to try and take your legs out from underneath you that are going to push you forward. Tell me about the ALS program. I did a little reading on that, and that seems like it's exceptionally special to you.
Yeah, my sister died from ALS. And it started by that about 4 years ago, something like that. And she started to deteriorate. One day I took her to Sheba Hospital, you know, came out, and they told me anterior frontally, she has ALS, she don't have a chance to live. That's it, boom, like that. And after 6 months from that time, she passed away. But you know, there is a very dedicated scientist and a very dedicated group that actually, with no money, developed a drug. And we hope that we can stop the progression or reverse it and hope for good, you know.
When you get these prolific entrepreneurs, these amazing startup geniuses, you can see when they have a love for a technology they're pursuing, but then there will be very few instances where there are passion projects. And the ALS project for Yossi had probably more of a missionary mindset than anything else he's done in his life.
You know, my mother, she was in the concentration camp in Auschwitz.
She was?
Yeah.
And she made it out?
Yeah, and you know, in the history, she's the only one that survived from the gas chamber. You know, after that, after this experience, the people that came back from Auschwitz divided to two parts. One part that they were sad and all their life, okay, because this history. And the other, like my wife, she's all her life only laughed. She told me, after what I went through, nothing can make me sad or cry, okay?
It's a choice we make, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
And she lived a remarkably different life because of that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember her, beautiful women, always in good mood. Always in good mood, always in good mood.
And it seems that's carried down to you as well.
A little bit, yes. Always in good mood. And you know, this is, again, that she was the only one that survived from gas chamber.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just sat with probably one of the top prolific inventors in the medtech industry in Israel. Yet never once did I feel like it was about him. It was about the story and the journey and his contribution to the industry. This will be probably what I remember most about Israel.